then you come to the terms that like the most powerful thing is your mind. And when you can start changing your mind to think, okay, let me start setting myself to do this. Let me set the standard for myself to do this. Then your mind shifts. And you start acting towards those things. What's up, y'all? It is currently 220 degrees in here. It feels very, very hot, clearly. But, you know, like I said before, it's a part of the process. And the benefits are better than the pain. Pain is supposed to be part of the progress. And for me to get where I need to get to, that's what I gotta do. I learned that living every day with a new story to tell is just adding another page in your book of testimony. Adding another chapter in your life that people can talk about and can understand you and that you can understand people about. And so when people are like, I go through so many hard things in life, I always question, why is that a super bad thing? Of course, bad things are going to happen, and no one loves bad things. But what's the story behind it, and what's the lesson that we can learn from it? If it's teachable, you know. In my head, I'm thinking, cool, not cool. This moment happened, but you know, I'm still here. I got another day to live, and I got another day to grow. And for that reason, I'm still going to be thankful that I'm here. A lot of people go through life and they're like, man, times are tough. I don't know what I'm gonna do because things just seem stuck. Like there's no direction in my life. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm young. I don't have a career yet. I didn't go to college. I'm kind of just bumming around. I smoke, I drink, I have all these addictions. But then you come to the terms that like the most powerful thing is your mind. And when you can start changing your mind to think, okay, let me start setting myself to do this. Let me set the standard for myself to do this. Then your mind shifts. And you start acting towards those things. Most people just sit back and they're like, oh, those things are going to come to me. Eventually I'll get money. Eventually I'll be trapping and somebody else will come along and I'll love them how they're supposed to love me. And, you know, things are just like so in the motion with no direction. If you start taking control of your life in the aspect that you really want to, then watch where you can go. And I think the thing is, for me, a lot of people don't understand that because I will take action and I will move with the purpose that I feel like I need to move with. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, why don't you just like live your life as a young person and smoke and drink? I've never smoked and drank before. Like, I don't even vape or none of that. Like, I don't do nothing. And a lot of people don't understand why I haven't fallen into the norm. And I think because I haven't fallen into the norm, it allows me to stand out on a different level because I'm not like everybody else. I grind harder than most people that I know, and even people around me are like questioning or the misunderstanding of why I do what I do is like so baffling to them. For me, I'm like, this is just a day in the life. Like, you know, it's just a grind, it's just what it is. For stuff that you do that's outside of the norm, you start to gain respect for it because no one else is really doing it. I feel like life is like a sauna. Like you're sitting in here, you feel uncomfortable, you start sweating, right? You low-key want to get out, but you're trying to challenge yourself mentally to a point where you're like, how long can I stay in this environment? How long can I last in this environment to where you're like, I'm willing to push through, I'm willing to stay in the trenches, I'm willing to work through the hard times to get to where I need to get to. Apparently saunas are supposed to be really good for your skin, it's supposed to be really good for your body, and so it has a lot of benefits to it, just like life after you overcome the things that are hard. And so the way that I look at saunas is that this is like life. You have to go through the hard times, sit in the hard moments. Instead of it being more so good for your body, it'll be more so good for your mindset. Things to overcome in the future whenever you go through hard times. To think, I can get through that because I got through blank. And I sit here in the sauna. If I had access to a sauna, I'd be sitting here all the time, honestly. But I think it's also just a really good mental note for you to take whenever you're sitting in an uncomfortable space, when you're in an uncomfortable part of your life and you're like, man, if I can get through this, I can get through that. Or because I've gotten through blank, I can get through this. And for that reason, I enjoy the pain, I enjoy the workouts, I enjoy life, because I know that life is full of lessons. At the end of the day, it's all about how you want to learn them and how you want to get through them. Most people think that a lesson is a curse, or people think that, you know, things just go so bad in their life. But then you look around the world and you're like, you know, my life isn't so bad. And you kind of start to realize how thankful you should be instead of how painful life can be. I think it's just part of everyone's testimony at the end of the day. Everyone has something that they went through that they can share, that they can relate about, that they can talk about. And it comes a time in everyone's life when they're like, let me talk about that because this person really needs that. And right now they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, just like how I did when I was in that moment. But here I am and I made it through. And, you know, definitely putting God first in that, because without God, He definitely is the one that's going to bring you through it. You just got to have your faith in Him, and putting your trust in Him is the major thing. So when I think about hard times, it's, what does life really look like outside of a sauna? Because life isn't easy. Life is always full of tough times and hard moments. So how do you handle those hard moments when they come? Because at the end of the day, they are still going to be there no matter how hard you try to smoke them away, drink them away, you know, get your mind off of things. You're going to come back to your soberness, and your problems are still going to be there, if not maybe more if you weren't careful. So I just want to make this little quick video kind of talking about life in the sauna. But that's all I got. Go on.